Now, illustration 13, it's a nice sum for practice. A limited company issued 18 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each. Amount called up per share was as under. Now, this is face value is of rupees 10 each, 3 per share on application, 2 per share on allotment, 2 per share, 3 per share on first call, and 2 per share on final call. All amounts due were received on due date except from the following person. Ami, who was holding 1200 shares, did not pay money due on allotment, first call, and final call. Rami, who was holding 800 shares, did not pay money due on first call, final call. And Gami, who was holding 1600 shares, did not pay amount due on final call. After necessary formalities, all the shares of these three persons were forfeited and were reissued at rupees 8 per share. Write journal entry in the books of the company for forfeiture and reissue of forfeited shares. So here we will be writing entry only for forfeiture and reissue. You can do this sum once again as homework where you do the sum fully, where you pass entries for application, then allotment, then first call, then final call, and then go for forfeiture and reissue. Now, let's do the working first. 3 on application, 2 on allotment, 3 on first call, 2 on final call. Then, no premium over here, total is 10, application shares and issue shares 18 lakh जरूरत नहीं है but लिख देते हैं because we have a format for it. Okay. Now calls in areas. So we have Ami, then we have Rami, and we have Kami. Okay, now ध्यान देना थोड़ा please. Ami, who was holding 1200 shares, did not pay the allotment. So for Ami's 1200 shares, we did not get the allotment, then the first call, and then the final call. Then Rami, who was holding 800 shares, did not pay the first call and the final call. So 800 shares, 800 shares. And Kami, who was holding 1600 shares, did not pay amount due on final call. So we write all the three. So now on allotment for 1200 shares total, we did not receive the allotment. For first call, 2000 shares, we did not receive the first call. And final call, 3600 shares. We did not receive the final call. So this, and this. So on allotment, we did not receive money for 1200 share. On first call, we did not receive money for 2000 share. On final call, we did not receive money for 3600 shares. So you have to keep this in mind. Now we are forfeiting complete 3600 shares. Okay, so let's write the entry. The entry for forfeiture. Heading is journal entry in the books of company. So entry is bank account, sorry, entry for forfeiture is equity share, capital account, 3600 shares into rupees 10 face value per share, which is called up. So 36,000. There's no premium. So 2 share forfeiture account. Now we are going to forfeit the amount what we have received. So I'll do the working over here in bracket. Now for these 1200 shares, we received rupees 3. For this 800 shares, we received 3 plus 2, 5. And for the 1600 shares, we received 3 plus 2 plus 3. That is 8. So that is the amount what we have forfeited. So let's write 1200 shares into, we forfeited the application amount into 3, which is equal to 3600. Then for next 800 shares, we forfeited rupees 3 plus 2, 5 is equal to 4000. And for 1600 shares, we forfeited rupees 3 plus 2 plus 3, that is 8. So do this working. So the total comes to into 8 is 12,800. Plus 4,000 plus 3,600. 20,400. Next, to equity share allotment account. Now we did not receive allotment on 1200 share. Into allotment is 2 per share. $2,400. So allotment we did not receive for 1200 shares. Then to equity share first call account. For 800 share, we did not receive, so we did not receive for 800 and 1200. So for 2000 share, we did not receive the first call of rupees 3 per share. That comes to 6,000. You can see over here in the working for 2000 shares. And final call, we did not receive for 3600 shares. To equity share final call 3600 into rupees 2 per share 7200. Let's verify. Yes. Close the entry. So this working is important. Do stepwise and don't make a mistake. Now, first entry for forfeiture is over. Now we go for the second entry, that is for reissue. So reissue of shares. Now, after necessary formalities, all the shares of these three persons were forfeited and were reissued at 8 per share. So we are going to reissue the shares. So bank account debit 3600 into rupees 8 per share. 28,800. Share forfeiture account debit. So what all difference is there between the face value and the amount what we have received? That difference goes from share forfeiture account. So share forfeiture account debit 3600 into rupees 2 per share 7200 to equity share capital account. Equity share capital always with the face value called up so far, that is rupees 10 fully called up, so 36,000. Third is we transfer to capital reserve. Share forfeiture account debit to capital reserve account. Now one is because number of share forfeited and shares reissued are the same, we can do credit minus debit, or we can also do our working. So 1200 shares into, we forfeited rupees 3 and we gave rupees 2, that is 1, which is equal to 1200. Then 800 shares we forfeited rupees 5 and we gave a discount of rupees 2, 5 and discount of 2, which is 3, is equal to 2400, and 1600 shares into, we forfeited rupees 8 and gave discount of 2, which is 6, is equal to 9600. So let's do the total. 1200 plus 2400 plus 9600, 13,200. Let's check out 2400 minus 7200, also 13,200. So you can do it either of the way. If all of the shares are reissued, then you can directly go for credit balance minus debit balance. I leave it up to you. If you want to go for logically per share profit, how much we have earned, then you can go for this method. Highlight. That's it. Because it is just a portion of the sum, complete entries, we are not doing the totals. Go through it, see if you have any doubts. Okay, now let's start with the sum. Illustration 14, market important for your exam. Deepak Limited issued 5 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of 25 per share. So underlying 5 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of 25. So this is our face value. Amount payable on share was as under. Application 13 per share including premium of 10. So write 3 plus 10. 3 is for face value and 10 is for premium. 17 per share including premium of rupees 15. So 2 plus 15. So here 10 and 15, 25. And first call 2 per share and final call 3 per share. So total of 3 and 2, 5, 5 and 2, 3 and 2, 5 and 2, 7 and 3, 10. So face value is 10. Application were received for 5,80,000 shares. Excess application were rejected and amount paid thereon was refunded. Anu, who was allotted 4,000 shares, did not pay allotment money, hence shares were forfeited after allotment. So after the allotment entries, we came to know that Anu did not pay the money. So we are not going to wait. Ki bhai, a first call we will ask and then we will see whether he is paying or not. Then final call whether he is paying or not. If a person shareholder failed to pay the money, then after that call we are going to forfeit the shares. So after allotment, we forfeited shares of Anu. So keep this in mind. Purvi, who was allotted 3,000 shares, could not pay first call money. Could not pay first call money. And hence her shares were forfeited after first call. So जो कॉल नहीं पे किया उतने लोगों का शेयर्स forfeit कर दिया. Amount due on final call on remaining shares was received in full. Past necessary journal entries in the books of the company for recording about transaction. So let's start. Write the heading journal entries in the books of Deepak Limited. Let's do the working. So application is 3 plus 10 comes to 13. Allotment is 2 plus 15. It comes to 17. First call is 2 per share and final call is 3 per share. So 35 is the total amount, 10 is the face value, 25 is the premium and total 35. Application shares are 5,80,000. Issued share is 5 lakh. So refund of 80,000. Now Anup, who was allotted 4,000 shares, did not pay the allotment money. So 4,000 shares, here I'm writing doing dash and dash over here. Okay, because Anup only 4,000 allotment money he did not pay and we forfeited the shares. Then Purvi, who was allotted 3,000 shares, did not pay the first call and her shares were also forfeited after the first call. So I'm using this cross so that you know that this 4,000 shares will not come again on first call or final call and these 3,000 shares will not come again on first call or final call. Please do this working. Okay, now let's start the sum. First entry, bank account debit. Now applications were received for 5,80,000 shares into rupees 13 per share. So 75 lakh 40,000 to equity share application account. 75 lakh 40,000. Second, we reverse this temporary account equity share application account debit 75 lakh 40,000 to equity share capital account capital for only 5 lakh shares because 5 lakh shares are issued into face value. So face value is 3 per share. So 15 lakhs to securities premium account. Again 5 lakh shares into rupees 10 per share. So 50 lakhs to bank account rejected. We rejected 80,000 shares into rupees 13 per share. 10 lakh 40,000. So application over. Now we go to allotment. Third, equity share allotment account. Now 5 lakh shares into rupees 17 per share is what we called on allotment. 85 lakh to equity share capital account, 5 lakh shares into face value is 2. I'll write over your face value 2. So 10 lakhs to securities premium account. 5 lakh shares into rupees 15 per share. Sorry. So 75 lakhs. Equity share allotment account debit to equity share capital with the face value 10 lakh and to securities premium 75 lakh. Now fourth, important bank account. Now out of 5 lakh shares, we did not receive money for 4,000 shares held by Anu. So which is equal to 4 lakh 96,000 into rupees 17 is what we received. 496 into rupees 17. 84 lakh 32,000 to equity share allotment account. 84 lakh 32,000. Fifth. Now over here we called for 5 lakh shares. We should have got 85 lakh, but we did not get money for 4,000 shares. And those 4,000 shares of Anu, we are going to now forfeit these 4,000 shares. So let's write the entry. Please pay attention, all of you. Equity share capital account. Now 4,000 shares into what? Into amount called up so far towards face value. So we have called up 3 and we have called up 2. So rupees 5 is what we have called up for the face value. So we have raised capital by rupees 5. So we will reduce capital by rupees 5. So to rupees 5. So 20,000. Now over here on application this premium was received, but this 15 rupees premium we did not receive on allotment which we had credited it over here. On complete 5 lakh shares we credited our premium, but we did not receive premium on 4,000 shares. So we have to reverse security premium account to that extent. So securities premium account 4,000 shares into rupees 15 per share. 60,000. To share forfeiture account. We are forfeiting 4,000 shares. Amount received so far towards face value is only the application of rupees 3 to rupees 3. So 12,000 to equity share allotment account, 4,000 shares into rupees 17 per share, so 68,000. Always check. So we have forfeited these shares before making the first call. This is important. Before making the first call. Now we are not reissuing over here right now, so we don't have to do anything. Now we proceed further. Now, see, 5 lakh shares were there in the market. Out of those 5 lakh shares, we took back 4,000 shares. So now in the market, there are only 4,96,000 shares. So let's call the first call, equity share, first call account. Let's write the amount, 4,96,000 shares into first call is rupees 2 per share. So 9,92,000 to equity share capital account. No premium, so directly 9,92,000. 7. Bank account. Now, when we called final call, this person, Purvi, did not pay when we called the first call, this person, Purvi, did not pay the first call on 3,000 shares. So, bank account debit, now 4,96,000 minus 3,000 shares is equal to 4,93,000 shares into rupees 2. Debit 4,93,000 into rupees 2. So 9,86,000 to equity share first call account. Nine lakh 86,000. So we should have received 9,92,000, but we received only 9,86,000 because for these 3,000 shares held by Purvi, we did not receive the first call. So what we will do now? Her shares were forfeited after first call. So after making the first call, we forfeited her shares. So 8. Equity share capital account. Now 3,000 shares are forfeited into how much? So we have so far called application, allotment and first call. So we have so far called only rupees 7 towards the face value, or so far we have risen our capital by only rupees 7. So we will cancel rupees 7 now. So into rupees 7, that is called up towards the face value, comes to 21,000. Now premium, for these 3,000 shares we received rupees 15 We received rupees 10. So we don't have to do anything for these two. So we have to ignore security premium account directly to share forfeiture account, 3,000 shares into did not pay the first call, so paid the application and the allotment, so paid rupees 5 into rupees 5, 15,000 and 2 equity share first call account, 3,000 shares into rupees 2. Now reissue is not there, so we just forfeited the shares. Now we go for final call, so 9. Now how many shares are there in the market? We started with 5 lakh. Out of these 5 lakh we forfeited 4,000, we took it back, and then we again took back 3,000 shares. So 5 lakh minus 7,000 shares is 4 lakh 93,000 shares are now in the market. We will call the final call on it, equity share final call account, do the working, 5 lakh shares minus, first we forfeited 4,000 shares, then we forfeited 3,000 shares, which comes to 4,93,000 shares into rupees 3. I'll just do the working in the next line. So 5 lakh share minus 4,000 share minus 3,000 shares, which is equal to 4,93,000 shares into rupees 3. So 4,93,000 shares into 3 is 14,79,000. To equity share capital account, 14,79,000. And we received everything on the final call, so bank account debit 14,79,000 to equity share final call account, 14,79,000. Close it. Three crore 70 lakh 49,000 is the total. This amount has no significance of this amount of 3 crore 70 lakhs. We just have to see that debit is should be equal to credit. If it is not, it means while writing we have made some mistake. This signifies nothing. only the arithmetic accuracy. Do the totals, go through the sum, see if you have any doubt. Now here we have learned forfeiture of partly called up shares. Now in homework, I have given you 3 sums like this. Okay, from the textbook, they are already solved in my video lecture on the learning app. You watch the lecture, solve the sums along with the lecture. Okay, solve 2 sums while seeing the lecture, and third sum you try on your own. All of you understood this? Here you have to be careful when you forfeit the share. Okay, when you write equity share capital account debit, at that time you have to see how much amount of capital we have called so far, or with how much amount per share have we raised the capital. So to that extent we have to reverse. Here if you write equity share capital account 4000 into 10, it will go wrong because capital उसने से raise ही नहीं किया. If you have not raised the capital by rupees 10, how can you reverse it by rupees 10? So you raised by rupees 5, you reverse by rupees 5. Here you have raised by rupees 7. How raised by 7? You call application, you call allotment, you call the first call. So total 7 rupees you have called, you have raised your capital. Now we are forfeiting, so you have to reverse it by rupees 7. Is this clear, all of you? Now in this sum, there can be an add-on that all these shares which are now with the company, they are reissued at certain price. So then you have to go for a normal entry bank account debit, share forfeiture to equity share capital now with rupees 10. Is this clear? But if ध्यान दो प्लीज, अनूप के शेयर्स फोरफिट करने के बाद ही रीइश्यू कर दिए, तो देन यू हैव टू क्रेडिट द कैपिटल विथ रुपीज 5 ओनली. फिर से एक बार बोलता हूं, these shares of Anup which you had forfeited, now when you reissue it, before calling the first call, then you have to credit equity share capital by rupees 5 only, not 10. And if these shares are reissued as fully paid up, then the extra amount received from shareholder is our calls in advance. We have seen such sums in past. Okay, you can watch the lecture, and such sums are also solved in my other video lectures on the app. But be careful about this. Is this clear? You have to see at what stage you are forfeiting and then at what stage you are reissuing. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है ना, मार्केट में 2 शेयर होल्डर है, एक के पास 10 रुपीज का फुली पेड अप शेयर है और एक के पास 8 रुपीज का पार्टली पेड अप शेयर है. ऐसा पॉसिबल नहीं है. जितने भी शेयर्स है दे हैव टू बी एट द सेम लेवल. इज दिस क्लियर? पर किसी ने ज्यादा पैसा दे दिया है तो उतना पैसा कंपनी के पास रहेगा एज कॉल्स इन एडवांस. गॉट इट ऑल ऑफ यू? ओके, नाउ